There's a quiet, haunting question that often surfaces in the stillness after a storm has passed. Why do you miss the very person who was the source of the tempest? It's a paradox that can leave you feeling lost, questioning your own judgment. You replay the memories, the sharp edges of the pain, the moments of profound hurt, and yet an undeniable ache of longing remains. It's a confusing, disorienting feeling. A part of your mind, the logical, rational part, knows the truth. It holds the evidence, the list of grievances, the reasons why leaving was the only choice. But another part of you, the part that feels, remembers something else entirely. You don't miss them because they were consistently good to you, because the relationship was a sanctuary of peace and support. If it were that simple, there would be no confusion, only relief. You miss them because they made you feel something intense. They were the architects of emotional skyscrapers, buildings that soared to breathtaking heights of joy and connection, but could also plummet into terrifying dark basements of despair and anxiety. It was a landscape of extremes, and it's the intensity of that landscape, the sheer emotional voltage that your system became accustomed to. It's the echo of that intensity that you are now missing in the quiet. To understand this pull, we have to look beneath the surface, into the very wiring of our brains. Our capacity for connection is one of the most fundamental aspects of our humanity, governed by ancient neural pathways. The brain, in its quest for connection, doesn't always prioritize safety in the way we might consciously wish. It prioritizes what is familiar and what is potent. The brain doesn't measure love with a checklist of pros and cons or a safety rating. It measures it by emotional impact. When you experience powerful emotions, both positive and negative, your brain releases a potent cocktail of neurochemicals. The highs, the moments of affection and validation, trigger a rush of dopamine, the molecule of reward and craving. This is the same chemical involved in all forms of addiction. It tells your brain, "This is important, pay attention, I want more of this." Simultaneously, the stress and anxiety of the lows flood your system with cortisol. And in the moments of reconciliation, of making up after a fight, your brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which creates a profound sense of attachment and relief. This chemical roller coaster forges an incredibly strong, almost unbreakable bond. Your brain essentially learns to associate this person with a powerful, necessary fix for the very distress they create. This cycle is powerfully reinforced by a psychological principle known as intermittent reinforcement. Think of a slot machine. It doesn't pay out every time you pull the lever. It pays out unpredictably. It's this possibility, the maybe this time, that keeps you hooked. A relationship with someone who hurts you often operates on the same principle. Their affection, their kindness, their approval. It isn't consistent. It's given and then withdrawn, seemingly at random. You never know when the next moment of warmth will come. So you're always on high alert, always waiting, always hoping. This unpredictability creates a powerful emotional addiction. Your brain becomes obsessed with chasing the next reward, the next high, because it's so scarce and unpredictable. This intense, cyclical pattern of hurt and reconciliation is the very definition of a trauma bond. It's a bond forged in shared intensity, not shared safety. It's a connection where the alternating cycle of abuse and kindness creates a dependency that can be mistaken for love. The moments of relief that follow a period of distress feel so profound, so much like love, that they overshadow the pain that came before. You become bonded not to the person themselves, but to the cycle of survival. You miss the feeling of surviving the storm and reaching the temporary calm, because that feeling of relief was one of the most powerful sensations you knew. Our brains are creatures of habit. They find comfort in the familiar, even if the familiar is painful. If your formative years or previous relationships taught you that love is intertwined with anxiety, unpredictability, or the need to earn affection, then a chaotic relationship feels like home. It fits the blueprint you have for what connection is supposed to feel like. Safety, in contrast, can feel alien. Calm can feel unfamiliar after a lifetime of chaos. A person who is consistent, kind, and stable might not trigger the same intense chemical fireworks in your brain. Their calm presence doesn't activate the survival mechanisms you've become so accustomed to. And so, when you leave, you enter a period of withdrawal. It is, in a very real neurochemical sense, a detoxification. Your body and brain are craving the intense highs and lows they grew dependent on. This is why healing often feels like boredom. The absence of drama, the lack of emotional mountains and valleys, can be mistaken for an absence of feeling altogether. You're left in a quiet, flat landscape, and it feels empty. You may interpret this emptiness as proof that you made a mistake, that the quiet is worse than the chaos. But it's crucial to understand that this feeling is not a sign of failure. It is the necessary, uncomfortable, and quiet space where true healing begins. It is the sound of your nervous system slowly recalibrating from a constant state of fight or flight back to a state of rest. So, what can you do when you find yourself in this quiet, aching space? First, give your feeling a name. Instead of saying, "I miss them," try saying, "I am experiencing withdrawal from an intense emotional situation." This reframing is not about invalidating your feelings. It's about understanding their origin. It shifts the focus from the person to the pattern. Second, practice radical self-compassion. There is nothing wrong with you for feeling this way. Your brain did exactly what it was designed to do. It formed a powerful attachment in response to intense stimuli. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend going through a difficult recovery. Next, find new sources of dopamine, new ways to feel alive that are not tied to another person's validation. This doesn't have to be monumental. It can be the satisfaction of a long walk in nature, the joy of rediscovering an old hobby, the laughter shared with a trusted friend, the pride of learning a new skill. These small, consistent, and healthy rewards will begin to rewire your brain's reward pathways. They teach your system that joy, excitement, and fulfillment can come from stable and self-generated sources. Finally, allow yourself to sit in the quiet. Learn to tolerate the boredom. In these moments of stillness, you are not empty, you are regrowing. You are relearning your own rhythm, separate from the chaotic drumbeat of the past. Remember, the longing you feel is a ghost. It's an echo of a powerful storm, not a sign that you should sail back into it. The quiet that follows is not the end of feeling, it is the beginning of a different kind. It is the fertile ground where a new, more stable sense of self can grow. Peace comes later. It doesn't arrive like a lightning strike. It seeps in slowly, like the first light of dawn after a long night. It's in the gentle realization, one morning, that you haven't thought of them for a whole hour. It's in the quiet confidence of knowing you can create your own warmth. It's in the profound relief of feeling safe in your own life. Be patient with your heart. The peace you are searching for is on its way.